This is the Ecliptic Mystic, and in this video, I will be discussing the Libra Full Moon taking place on April 12th. And not only will I cover how this full moon may show up in your life based on your sun and rising sign, but I will also go into more detail with experiences, feelings, tips, and tricks that could better serve you at this time based on your natal chart's moon and Venus placement based on the sign and house of these placements in your natal chart, as the moon and Venus will also be relevant players at this time, as the full moon obviously relates to the moon, and Libra, where the full moon is happening, is a Venus ruled sign, so that's why that's a relevant player as well. And you'll notice in the description down below that there are lots of timestamps with every type of placement, but I want y'all to eat well, okay? I want all of us to be full and satiated and feeling good with the knowledge and awareness that this transit can bring us. And clearly there's a lot to unpack. My voice is probably going to be fried after filming this, given the volume of stuff I'm going to touch into, although I'm not going to lie, I'll probably take a break. But that's okay. So let's get started. The full moon in Libra on April 12th is a massive chance for all of us to recalibrate our lives, understand our priorities, and to center ourselves to help us shift towards a happy and prosperous life. Because in my opinion, astrological transits aren't like these things that are done onto us against our will. It's not like the stars are coming down, doing voodoo and ruining our lives, but these transits instead act as the celestial magnifying glass, and it kind of shows the blueprint of the energies going on that can help us bring awareness into our lives, which in turn, if we can understand these energies properly, we can capitalize on this energy optimally in order to better our lives utilizing our own free will, because honestly, free will, I think it's real. If you don't think it's real, that's okay. I think free will is a thing and it's our job to use it, because in this video, I hope to help you understand how your awareness and free will can better be utilized to shift your life in a better direction given these transits in mind. And full moons are said to be culmination points. And while this may not be a time to completely start a new project, although free will is a thing, like I said 5 seconds ago, astrology doesn't have hard rules, so do what you want, okay? This transit specifically can serve as an incredible time to illuminate information, realizations, and energies that may be useful for reshaping our lives in the future. And given that this is happening in the sign of Libra, it's important to note that Libra, as a Libra myself, so maybe I'm qualified to speak on this, it's a very receptive sign. It takes into consideration all of the facts. It is balanced and diplomatic, and it seeks for peace and win-win scenarios through its receptivity. But, there's a but, Libras can also be receptive to a fault. It can take things in such a way that jeopardizes our autonomy, our self-esteem, or our free will, especially if it gives priority too much in any given direction. If the priority is out of whack, then the Libra energy is out of whack. And in other words, Libra can shift focus away from the self, as it is the opposite of Aries, which is all about the self. And I mean that in a non-narcissistic way, unless you want to be a narcissistic Aries, which in that case, I love you anyway. I love my Aries placements. So this full moon may be very illuminating in showing us what areas of our life need rebalancing. And this will happen by bringing us feelings, emotions, situations, or realizations in how our priorities currently lie, whether it's through the internal swirling energies or external factors that test our patience, which that's been happening a lot for us lately, let's be real. And with moon, the transit moon opposing the transit sun in Aries on this date, your ego may be challenged in some way, or there may be challenges involving other parties that come like a fiery Aries blaze of glory. So being the fair observer over what takes place at this time is paramount, but also understand your value at this time, as well as keep grounded on what you can do to create more balance in your life. And also just a disclaimer, I wouldn't act on any of your impulsive urges at this time, as the moon and the sun all form a T-square with transit Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer, that's a moon Mars. That is a very emotionally driven Mars placement. I love Mars in Cancer, but you're a little emotional because I know the urge to be cray-cray exists, because you may be challenged by factors outside of yourself, or there may be factors causing a rift in terms of harmony or your experience with others or yourself. And this full moon can be used to potentially illuminate how to resolve these tensions highlighted at this time. And additionally, at this time, Venus, which is the ruler of Libra, as you know, stations direct in the sign of Pisces on the same day as the full moon, amplifying the focus on relationships and what you value in life. So pay attention to what it is that you want and need at this time, again, as an observer. And interestingly enough, we have a Taurus new moon coming up at the end of the month, which I will make a video on as well. In case you asked, maybe you didn't, but I'm going to tell you I'm making a video anyway. And as you know, Taurus is also ruled by Venus. And so perhaps the lessons you heed during this full moon can help with the new start that can be triggered using the Taurus new moon in the next couple of weeks. And so coming up, I will forecast what areas of life may receive culmination, realizations, or amplified energy depending on 3 factors that exist in your natal chart. So number 1, boom, your rising sign or your sun sign, which can highlight what area of life could receive culmination, realizations, or amplified energy. So pay attention to the area of life based on your rising sign where the full moon is taking place. And then your moon sign and house can show us how we experience emotion innately, which can provide deeper insight into the feelings that we can pay attention to during this time that can help us to understand what this energy is trying to tell us and how we can use it to shape a better life or to shape a better situation based on what's going on for you at this time. And then we're also going to look at the Venus signs and houses based on your natal chart, obviously, because this can show our passions and expressions of love and how these expressions may be relevant to the upcoming full moon in Libra. Because your Venus placement could show us how we can better embody our expressions of passion and love during this time. And we'll also look a little bit into the house that Pisces is in when Venus goes stationary, because this can show a lot about the direction that you can point your energy towards. So let's go down to the description, let's click on the timestamps, and let's get this started. My beautiful fiery Aries Risings. If you are an Aries Rising, then the full moon in Libra will be illuminating your 7th house of partnerships, one-on-one relationships. If you or another party is involved, then this is what this transit is going to touch on or to bring feelings up for you. It's an opportune time to address relationship dynamics, to set boundaries, or to decide on the future of significant connections. But also, this could be a time to reflect on your emotions or your feelings regarding how you connect with people in general. You don't have to have connections, but maybe feelings surrounding your ideas of relationships can come up at this time. And this transit can bring situations or feelings or emotions that either illuminate the fact that you aren't opening up to other people, maybe you are placing too much emphasis on yourself, or maybe you don't feel like others are placing enough emphasis on you. With the Aries sun transiting your 1st house at this time, there's this battle where you want to value yourself in some way, but you also want to be valued by others. Or if you don't connect with anybody, if this doesn't resonate with you, maybe you want to connect in such a way where you also feel valuable. Maybe you feel like in order to connect or in order to open up, you have to give up a part of yourself. Or maybe in current relationships, you feel like you're giving up a part of yourself at this time. So there may be a push or pull dynamic directly tied to the value you put on yourself versus the value you put on other people, whatever this looks like, it may be different for everybody. But what I do know as well is that Mars will be transiting your 4th house in Cancer at this time. So there could be something with home dynamics, whether past or present, or childhood trauma that may be resurfacing that is placing tension on your one-on-one connections or your view of it or your ability to open up and let it in fully. And so really pay attention to this and the emotions dealing with this at this time, because those emotions shouldn't be buried in. They should be observed, and they'll tell you a lot. And what I will say as well is that Venus in Pisces is retrograde your 12th house currently, so there might be a lot of subconscious stuff going on in your brain right now that you can't quite sort through. Like maybe you feel like there's something wrong in terms of one-on-one connections or the value you place on people or the value you place on yourself, but you can't quite pinpoint it. But what I will say is that Venus in Pisces will be going stationary on the same day as this full moon, which is perfect, which means this is also a great time to really dig in deep to your subconscious to figure out what you truly want, not just like what you think you want, but what your subconscious needs, and go towards meditation and healing practices at this time. And now if you want to figure out more about your moon and Venus placements and how you can deal with those energies, go down to the timestamps below, and hopefully this helps. So Taurus risings, the full moon in Libra will be highlighting your 6th house of work, health, and routine. So this full moon will encourage reflection around your daily routines, your work-life balance, but also with the sun being placed in Aries in your 12th house right now, maybe you're having a lot of trouble managing your time or managing your routines. Maybe you're a little bit head in the clouds, or maybe there's something about your progress when it comes to your work and routine that you're not feeling balanced with, you're not feeling satisfied with. Maybe you're a little bit disorganized, or maybe you're too much of a workaholic. It can work both ways. Regardless, there's an imbalance with your internal head as well as like the practical world going on around you, and any feelings or situations that deal with that, just pay attention to those. But also consider adjustments to your life to promote more well-being and efficiency. And because all of this is happening in conjunction to your ascendant, meaning if you're a Taurus rising, Libra is in conjunct that, this energy may involve factors that pull you away from yourself, or it may create a push-pull effect with how you exert yourself versus how you rest and recover. AKA maybe you feel like you're on the back burner. Maybe there's so much going on around you, you don't have time to even focus on yourself. And this is something that might be causing you a little bit of stress at this time, which I completely understand. This stuff happens sometimes. And with Mars currently in transit your 3rd house, making a square to your sun or to the transit sun and moon, there might be kind of like a need to like communicate and exert yourself to sort of like learn how to adapt to your routines. You might be feeling a lot of pressure within your immediate environment to kind of like clean this mess up. And this pressure can feel very emotional and volatile in nature. And honestly, that can cause a lot of stress that could jeopardize your health. So pay attention to taking care of yourself for the sake of your health. But also, with Venus being retrograde in Pisces right now, there might be something about your worldly impact, the way you connect with friends or society at large, that maybe it feels a little bit out of whack right now. But with Venus and Pisces going stationary on the same day as this full moon in your 11th house, it is a really great time to pay attention to how you can like impact society. Maybe a passion or this like urge to impact society, to connect with friends will come up at this time. This will help you tremendously. And if you want more tips on what can help you, go down to the description and watch about the transits to your natal moon and your natal Venus, and hopefully this helps. For Gemini risings, this transit, sorry, I had a brain malfunction there for a second. I don't know what's going on, probably Mercury and Gatorade. I've stuttered like 10 times in this video. It's okay, we're gonna keep going. But the full moon will be activating your 5th house of pleasure, creative endeavors, romance, anything that brings you joy. That is the 5th house. Maybe, for example, you have this pressure to make an impact on society, to connect with others or the world at large in a way that's sort of like created an imbalance with how you enjoy or embrace opportunities for self-expression and feelings of joy. Like maybe you are feeling out of balance in your ability to connect with your joy. Maybe you feel like the world is so serious. You know, there's a lot going on with politics in the world, and you're kind of losing touch with yourself possibly, because it's super hard to focus on what's fun when the world isn't really fun right now. Maybe this is impacting your ability to tap into your joy and your urge to pay attention to the emotions and the feelings that do bring you joy, because tapping into your joy will be important at this time, or at least understanding what you want to do to tap into your joy. That's going to be a major thing that you can do with this full moon transit. And this may come up through situations, maybe just reading social media, reading about politics, whatever, it may happen. But I will say that since this full moon is taking place trine to your ascendant, it's a trine aspect because air, the energy may involve factors that bring attention to the things that do bring you joy, or it may bring realizations that can more easily be integrated into your life. Maybe it can help you tap into like that little bit of romantic side of yourself a little bit. Maybe you'll get a little bit creative at this time. And there still may be like a push-pull effect between what brings you joy, plus like the expectation and the happenings of the world and society and friend groups. Like this push or pull, it's been happening and building up for a long time. But this full moon can fully illuminate what that looks like for you. And if you go in the description, eventually you can watch how you can better like act and manage these emotions and feelings given your moon and your Venus placement. But also right now, transit Mars is taking place in your 2nd house of values, personal finance, material possessions. Anything that you own is covered by the 2nd house. So perhaps you're feeling a little bit of pressure in terms of your finances or your beliefs at this time that's causing more pressure tapping into your joy and tapping into society. You might feel like this emotional charge due to perhaps your finances or your beliefs that's causing a little bit of tension within this. But what I will say is that Venus in Pisces, which has been retrograde in your 10th house currently, which may have put a lot of pressure on career success, your reputation, maybe it caused a little bit of confusion as well. With this going stationary, really evaluating what you want out of your career can be something that greatly alleviates and pulls you closer to your joy at this time. So pay attention to your 10th house happenings as well, as this area of your life will start to get better. And again, go watch the videos about your moon and your Venus sign to help better understand how you can act in this time. And with a Cancer rising, this transit focuses on your 4th house of your home, your family, your roots. And the full moon prompts contemplation about home and family matters. What does home and family mean to you? How do you feel about home and family? What feelings do they bring to you? Do you feel balanced with your home and family? Do you feel like something's missing? Do you feel like you are being treated fairly? Do you feel safe and secure? Maybe it doesn't deal with your family. Maybe it's just your traumas or your past surrounding your family. Like, do you feel secure because of your past? But it could deal with your past or present. So pay attention to both. And because this full moon in Libra is going to square your ascendant, you might feel like there is a lack of balance in regards to the dynamics within your home life or your relationship with your home life, your innermost self, or family matters, aka maybe it feels like you're not being prioritized enough, or maybe you're the one who isn't prioritizing family enough. And whatever it may be, there will be this like push-pull effect with your sense of security and your sense of home life. And so by paying attention to how safe you feel, I know the 4th house can be super tough. If you pay attention to how safe and secure you feel, even outside of just home and family, you can learn a lot about yourself at this time. With the sun currently being in your 10th house of Aries, you also want to sort of pay attention to your relationship with success. Like maybe there is a lot of emphasis on succeeding at this time, and maybe this feeling of success and your reputation is pulling you away from feelings of safety and security. But also with Mars transiting your 4th house, there's a lot of pressure right now to feel like to do something, to be something, to act in such a way to better yourself. And this can be putting pressure in your relationship with your achievements and your relationship with your feelings of security. So pay attention to these feelings, because down below when you watch the video on your Moon and Venus sign, you can kind of figure out how to manage these feelings to become a better version of yourself. And with Venus going stationary in your 9th house at this time, there's something about your beliefs or your ability to learn that's going to get some relief. And maybe once you're able to sort of embrace your beliefs a little bit more, this will help relieve this area of your life. And for Leo risings, hey, I'm a Leo rising too. Nice to see you. And this full moon will place emphasis on our 3rd house, as this lunation highlights communication, local community interactions, how we learn in our environment. Maybe there is something out of balance with the way that we communicate. I get it. I have been stuttering like 1,000 times, like not feeling great about the ways I communicate. I've been holding myself back a little bit. Maybe you're holding back your communications, or maybe you're over communicating, or maybe just the way you're communicating. There's something out of balance there that isn't making you feel like you can get everything out there. And because the sun is currently transiting in Aries in your 9th house, there's something about your belief system, the way your higher learning is interacting. Like maybe you have beliefs that aren't orthodox, or maybe you have beliefs that are strong, or maybe you have these beliefs that challenge others, and that's why you can't get it out, because you may have challenging beliefs, or maybe you don't even know what you believe. Maybe there's something about your beliefs that you don't feel in sync with at this time, which could be causing a push-pull effect in terms of communicating. So pay attention to your feelings surrounding communication. If you feel like you can't get everything out, pay attention to those emotions, because down in the description you can find more timestamps on how to kind of alleviate these issues at this time. Maybe you can figure out how to cope, how to better learn to communicate, and how to have a better relationship with your beliefs. But also with Mars transiting our 12th house, making a square to transit Sun and Moon right now, we're feeling like the urge to heal probably. There's a huge urge to sort of metamorphosize yourself, to transform, because you want to be stronger, you want to be able to communicate, and you want to stand behind your beliefs. But with Venus and Pisces going stationary in our 8th house, we might have, when Venus was in retrograde, felt like a block in terms of our inner transformation. Like maybe we were trying to heal. We were working so hard on healing. We just felt a block, you know? But this block will be hopefully lifted when Venus goes stationary on the same day as a full moon. So this is an opportunity to kind of like help alleviate all these issues I talked about. And hopefully this helps. Go down, watch the other timestamps that are relevant to you, and I'll see you next time. If you are a Virgo rising, this full moon will shine a light on your 2nd house of beliefs or finances. The 2nd house essentially is what you own. And this full moon calls for evaluation of your finances and personal values. Consider financial planning and reassess what holds true value for you. Are you placing true value on yourself? Are you placing value on things that don't matter? Are you placing value on other people? Because it's important to note that the sun right now is transiting your 8th house. Maybe you are like placing too much value on things that are outside of yourself, things that are outside of your control, or maybe things that are outside of your control are hindering your ability to earn money or to collect finances or to embrace your belief in such a way that you feel comfortable. Pay attention to these feelings. Listen to what they're telling you, because the story they are telling you at this time is a big one, and this story can be metamorphosized to help you better your life. Right now, Mars is also transiting your 11th house of society, the world at large, friend groups, anything that's kind of like involved with society or larger friend groups. You might feel this like pressure right now. Maybe there's a pressure from society to like achieve or feel like a certain way, to have certain things, or maybe you're scared of not having certain things because of the direction that society is going, because society right now is super emotionally volatile. I get it. Or maybe your friends, this energy applies to your friends as well. But something that can help you at this time, because Venus in Pisces is going stationary in your 7th house, I would like rely on other people right now. Rely on your one-on-one relationships, because it might have felt a little difficult to connect with people fully at this time. Even if you have plenty of connections, this will be alleviated once Venus goes stationary, and this can help you immensely at this time. And go down below, watch the other relevant timestamps to your placements, and hopefully that helps. If you are a Libra rising, this full moon is occurring in your 4th house. This is a very potent full moon for you, because it is a potent time for self-reflection and personal growth. Assess your identity and how you present yourself to the world, because this full moon may bring situations or feelings or emotions in realm of yourself. Are you placing enough value on yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you feel yourself? Or are you placing too much emphasis or value on the opinions and feelings of others? Or are others trying to dominate you at this time? Are others taking away from your joy at this time? Or is the idea of others taking away from your joy, even if you don't really have any strong connections at this time? Because the sun in Aries will be in your 7th house, so there is a force with other people that might bring your view of yourself a little bit out of balance. So really pay attention to the emotions at this time. And with Mars in your 10th house, there might be some external pressure related to your work or your career or your public reputation, whether it's directly with your job or just like the pressure of your success that might be hindering your ability to properly connect with others or to properly be in balance with yourself. So this is something to consider as well. But with Venus in Pisces finally going stationary in your 6th house after a retrograde period, you might have earlier felt that you're not really connecting to your work, you're not connecting to yourself, but really taking care of yourself, taking care of your habits, your day-to-day routine, that is going to help your self-image become in balance a ton at this time. And so go watch the other timestamps with your relevant placements, and hopefully that helps. If you are a Scorpio rising, my powerful, beautiful Scorpio risings, this transit will be highlighting your 12th house of the subconscious, of dreams, the things that you can't see, the things that are buried deeper that transcend life. That is what is being illuminated with this full moon. And so this full moon in Libra is encouraging introspection, I can't say that word today. This eclipse is happening in my 3rd house, if you didn't know. And this is helping you to address subconscious patterns. Are you actually diving deep into your subconscious? This is an ideal time for healing and releasing what no longer serves you. But are you avoiding your subconscious, or is your routines, your work, with the sun in Aries transiting your 6th house opposite your moon, are you being pulled too much to the real world in such a way where you can't rest, you can't recover, or you can't dive into the deepest issues that you need to dive into? Is there something about life or your health, it could be your health too, that is pulling you away? Because finding balance within your subconscious will be what this full moon calls you to do. But start as an observer with your subconscious and really pay attention to work situations specifically that are causing this rift or imbalance. And with Mars in Cancer in the 9th house, currently transiting your 9th house, square the sun and the moon, you might also feel a lot of pressure within your beliefs that could be hindering your work-life balance currently. Like maybe there is something with how you're expanding your higher learning right now that's having a lot of pressure, but also maybe this pressure is to like heal your routines. You're feeling this very tough pressure to heal and to grow, and it could just feel like so much sometimes. It's overwhelming. Just observe, it's okay. You're not in a rush, you know? And with Venus and Pisces, it was retrograde in your 5th house, which might mean there might have been a struggle connecting to like what brings you passion, but you're being urged at this time, this will help you with the full moon, to connect with your passions, creative projects, your innermost joy. That will help so much. And you know what else will help? Go down in the description, find what your placements are, click and watch the little segment about your placements, because that will help you so much to connect with your feelings of joy and to get this area of life in your balance. And so hopefully that helps. If you are a Saggy Rising or a Sagittarius Rising, this full moon will be activating your 11th house of society, of friend groups, the world at large, the internet, anything that kind of like touches on society or larger community groups at large. This will be the focus of the full moon. It can also touch on long-term goals. And so take this time to reevaluate your social circles or your view on society at large, and align your aspirations with your true desires, because you might be sort of having this escapist mindset in terms of like the world at large right now. I get it. And this full moon may bring situations or feelings or emotions in the area of life regarding like society and your achievements at large. And this full moon will be sextile your ascendant, just a disclaimer. And so this energy may uniquely highlight what within the world or society or friendships is truly important to you in a way that can easily be integrated into your life. But there may be a push or pull effect between the impact you have on the world at large versus what brings you joy, because the sun will be in Aries in your 5th house. So there might be a lot of pressure to like focus on what brings you joy. And so now it's about finding balance with taking that joy and doing something with it. So that will be where a lot of that pressure lies. But also because Mars in Cancer will be transiting your 8th house, you might feel like a lot of pressure to like transform or to make your work or your passions transformative at this time. This feeling might be super, super tense. And so these are all just things to be aware of, because you can help alleviate it by going in the description, clicking on your moon and Venus sign, and seeing how you can deal with this transit more in detail. And it is worth noting that with Venus and Pisces going stationary in your 4th house, it might have been retrograde, there might be something regarding your home life or your sense of security, your relationship with your family that was previously a struggle recently that might be relieved. I would say lean into that. Lean into your home life. Lean into rest and relaxation. Pamper yourself. Do some inner healing. That will help you a ton in this time with Venus going stationary in Pisces. And hopefully that helps. If you are a Capricorn Rising, this full moon will be emphasizing your 10th house of career, of public reputation, anything that deals with like the spotlight and you. That is your 10th house, and that is what this full moon will be illuminating. And so maybe there is like an imbalance with your connection to your career or your public reputation. Maybe you are putting not enough emphasis on this, or maybe you feel like you aren't being put on emphasis in terms of like your bosses or your coworkers. Maybe you feel like you're kind of being left in the dust, or you're being neglected, or maybe you feel like careers in general, finding a job, maybe you're struggling, or maybe you're struggling to at least find a career that you like, and feelings around this may bubble up. And so this transit will be opposite the sun in Aries in the 4th house right now. And so maybe there's like a lot of pressure to sort of like heal your inner child so that you can feel more connected to your ambitions. Or maybe there are a lot of situations in your home life that are pulling you away from your ambitions. Maybe there's a lot of trauma going on. Maybe there is some childhood trauma. Maybe there's current trauma. Or even if it's not super traumatic, it could just be like something pulling you away from your ambitions. Your ambitions are out of balance, right? And whatever it may be, there's going to be a push-pull effect. And this is like pulling you away, potentially, from living the life that you want to live. And with your Mars in your 7th house, other people might be what are challenging you. Like maybe you are struggling to connect with other people, or maybe other people are challenging you in whatever way that may look. That's kind of vague, I know, but other people might be challenging you at this time, which might be pulling you away from your aspirations. Maybe you need to take care of people, or maybe people are blocking you, or maybe you can't properly connect with people, or maybe people are forcing their will onto you. I don't know. And so this is something to just be aware of, because it will be alleviated soon, I promise. Because with Venus in Pisces going stationary in your 3rd house, you may have had problems communicating to other people, communicating within your career, within your home life, with other people. And with this going stationary, your communication is going to be a lot clearer. And this will be an opportunity to properly talk to other people about what it is that you're feeling and thinking. And maybe this is a time where you can like communicate or to tap into your skills to better bring balance into your career. Maybe you can tap into your skills or your passions or art. Like maybe you're doing one job but you want to do another, or maybe you want your job to look one way and it doesn't. And this is a time to maybe like create or vocalize the things that you need to make your dreams into reality. And so go down in the description below if you want more tips and tricks that may resonate with you at this time and that can help you through this full moon, and hopefully that helps. If you are an Aquarius Rising, this full moon will bring attention to your 9th house of your beliefs, higher learning, expansion, anything that brings you out of your comfort zone. If this is your comfort zone, it brings you outside of it. That is the 9th house. And so this full moon may it inspire exploration or higher learning, or maybe there's feelings about exploration or your beliefs or higher learning that bubble at this time. And so engaging in activities that broaden your horizons and expand your understanding can be super helpful. But also, you have to keep in mind that the sun is currently in your 3rd house. So maybe there are some day-to-day things, maybe there's something about communication or your skills or your intellect or your immediate environment that are sort of like bringing you into this box at this time. Like maybe you are being forced into this little box that you don't want to be in, or maybe you are focusing on communicating your beliefs better. Maybe you have these beliefs that you have been suppressing because you don't know how to vocalize them, or maybe you have these aspirations that you've been suppressing because you don't know how to communicate it. Any of these themes can be involved. And so by paying attention to your emotions in terms of your beliefs and your innermost self at this time, you can better become in balance with how you communicate them, but also put your foot down with your beliefs. There might be people who are forcing their will upon you with their communications. Just know that your beliefs are your beliefs. Embrace your beliefs because they are yours. Embrace your higher learning because that belongs to you at this time. And with Mars currently in your 6th house, there may be, because of the T-square to the sun and the moon, there may be something in regards to your routine or your work or your health that is sort of bringing you away from properly embracing your beliefs, from properly going to your aspirations. Maybe you feel like work is really tough right now. It's really hard to like feel in touch with your beliefs because of how tough or crazy or emotional or volatile work is right now. But what I will say is because Venus in Pisces is going stationary right now in your 2nd house, something that can help you to sort of cope and to really get in touch with your beliefs right now is to figure out what it is that you value. Maybe place more emphasis on your skills or your resources or your finances, and figure out what it is that you believe on a core level so that you can figure out how you want to grow with those beliefs. That could help you a lot. And go down in the description below to figure out more about your moon and your Venus placement, because this can help you to sort of like cope and to act and to utilize this full moon to your advantage. So I recommend that, and hopefully that helps. And if you are a Pisces rising, this full moon will be focusing on your 8th house of transformation, intensity, other people's resources, anything that is outside of yourself that doesn't involve security. It involves like intense transformative experiences. This will be illuminated with the full moon. And so delve into financial partnerships with others and embrace personal growth, embrace transformation at this time. Maybe you feel like, because right now the sun is transiting your 2nd house in Aries, maybe you feel like there's a lot of pressure to earn money, to save money, to focus on your beliefs, or maybe the pressure is a lack of resources or a lack of like stability in your beliefs. And so you're like focusing so hard on like obtaining security or obtaining money or like taking care of yourself that you're sort of neglecting sort of the inner transformation that can take on this time. Maybe there's like a lack of balance in that area of life. It could involve your relationships as well. Maybe you're placing so much emphasis on what they value that you're not placing enough emphasis on what you value. And right now is a time to sort of get that in balance. What else do I want to talk about? Mars is also transiting your 5th house. So there you'll feel like a lot of external pressure to like figure out what brings you joy, because you don't want to just earn to earn. You don't just want to transform. You want to do all of this in such a way that brings you joy and passion and to creatively express yourself. But it's hard to do that. It's hard to do what you want, what you crave, and to keep your resources and your money, to keep all of this in balance, because we don't live in a world where we all get to just do what we want to do and have what we want to have. But what I will say is something that can help is pay attention to Pisces at this time, because with Venus in Pisces, it was in retrograde. You may have had maybe self-esteem issues or issues believing in yourself or issues with your self-image. Really pay attention to your self-image and capitalize on taking care of yourself, because Venus going stationary in your 1st house gives an amazing opportunity to take care of yourself, to embrace yourself. And this will help get all of these factors regarding your beliefs, your finances, and other people's beliefs and your ability to transform, and also your joys. It'll help get all of this in balance. And if you want to figure out more on how to get these areas of life in balance, go down to the description below and find the timestamps for your placements, and I hope that helps. If you are a Venus and Aries, try to balance your independent nature with the needs of your relationships, or utilize your fiery passion to find whatever it is in your life that needs harmony based on the house that Libra or the Pisces transits are taking place in your natal chart. And strive for harmony between you and outside forces, but don't suppress your fire. Don't do it. Control it. If your Venus is in Taurus, emphasize stability and sensuality in your relationships or wherever requires balance in your life based on where Libra or Pisces is located in your natal chart. Use this time to strengthen your bonds or your connections with people or your connections with the world at hand, as well as any facet in your life through shared pleasures or mutually beneficial bonds, if that makes sense. So common ground, mutual reception are very important, but let this be a time where all areas of your life can have win-win scenarios. Don't neglect what needs to have attention, and that will help you feel safe and secure. For Venus and Geminis, focus on open communication and intellectual connection with partners, or let's say you don't have a partner or partnership isn't relevant to you at this time. Perhaps you can intellectualize what lacks balance in your life based on the house that Libra or Pisces and Gemini falls in your natal chart, so that you can gain more understanding and appreciation for what deserves your attention at this time. And also try to engage in stimulating conversations or journaling or reading, whatever you enjoy with your Gemini Venus. Could be a hobby to deepen your relationships or journal to understand the depths of your passions. This will help you understand how to exert your love so much better, I promise you. And if your Venus is in Cancer, nurture emotional intimacy and create a sense of security within your relationships, or try to channel an emotional sense of passion and care towards the area of life that needs balance based on where Libra or Pisces or Cancer, where those transits are happening in your life. And also take care of yourself. Apply that energy to yourself too. And so also you need to tend to your emotional needs of yourself. You need to tend to the emotional needs of your loved ones and all the areas of your life that need care at this time. Give it all the attention it needs. Cradle it, nurture it. This will help your life feel so much balance, I promise. And if your Venus is in Leo, express love or passions boldly and generously in what area of life needs balance based on what houses that the Libra Full Moon or the Pisces Venus transit's taking place. Also, don't neglect the house of Leo as well, since that's where your Venus is. And use this period to celebrate your relationships or any neglected areas of your life and show appreciation in such a relentless and bold manner for the people or the areas of your life that need it at this time. I promise you this will help you find balance. And if your Venus is in Virgo, pay attention to the details in your relationships, or perhaps intellectualize what lacks balance in your life based on the house that Libra or Pisces falls in your natal chart based on the transits, but also pay attention to the house that Virgo falls in as well, so that you can gain a more detailed understanding and appreciation for what deserves your attention at this time. And so also I would keep in mind that acts of service and practical support for whatever needs it in your life can strengthen your bonds or help you to find harmony at this time. So these are all things that you can keep in mind with your Venus in Virgo, because I know it aims to understand what needs balance and detail at any given moment. And if your Venus is in Libra, this is a huge transit for you, because that means the full moon is taking place in your house of Libra. And so I would seek equilibrium and fairness in your relationships, and also with yourself. Also seek that harmony within yourself. And also I would express passion in the area of life that Libra falls in your chart. So if it's in your third house, communicate with that passion and love, you know? Because this full moon is particularly significant for you, highlighting the importance of mutual respect and harmony in all areas of life, not just with others or whatever area of life you're putting emphasis on, but every area of life. And don't leave any stones unturned, and ensure balance in how you exert your passions. This will lead to more fulfilling results and balance and harmony in your future, which will help you become so much happier. And if your Venus is in Scorpio, hey, you're like me, you have an intense Venus. I get it. So at this time, delve into the depths of your relationships or whatever brings you passion if you're single. And embrace transformation and true emotional honesty that's not suppressed. Don't hold it in. Let it out and focus this energy on the houses where Libra or Pisces fall at this time in your natal chart. And also focus on the house that Scorpio is in. And use this time to address underlying issues and foster deeper connections or senses of passion. Don't hold it in. I know it's easy to hold it in as a Scorpio Venus. Let it out. It'll allow more harmony. And if your Venus is in Sagittarius, try to incorporate adventure or more spontaneous energy or any adventurous energy into your relationships or how you express your passions in general, focusing on the houses that Libra or Pisces fall in your natal chart, but also the house that Sagittarius is in matters too. Explore new experiences with others or even within yourself to keep your connections with yourself or with others vibrant, or explore your horizons in terms of your own passions itself to achieve more balance and fulfillment in these areas of life. And hopefully you can achieve more balance just by going for it. If your Venus is in Capricorn, focus on commitment and long-term goals within your relationships or the things that bring you passion. And keep in mind the houses that Libra or Pisces and Capricorn fall in your natal chart due to where all the transits are happening. And discuss future plans and work towards shared objectives with other people in your life if that's relevant. If it's not, figure out your objectives in such a way that can achieve balance or harmony in your life. Just go for it. That's the advice I'd give to my little Cappy Venuses. And if your Venus is in Aquarius, embrace individuality, freedom, and unconventional approaches in your relationships. Don't let people tell you you're weird. You just embrace what feels right for you, and also embrace your unique passions at this time, keeping in mind the areas of life that Libra or Pisces and Aquarius, since that's the sign your Venus is in, fall in your natal chart. And so allow space for personal freedom while maintaining connection, and ensure you feel liberated in the way you express your passion. Don't do a hobby if it makes you feel constricted. Only do things if you can flap free like a butterfly or a bird. Whatever flying creature you want to be, that's who you're going to be. And if your Venus is in Pisces, cultivate compassion and spiritual connection with your partnerships, whether romantic or platonic, or the things that bring you passion if there's no second or third party involved. And focus on the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart, as that's where the relevant transits will be going on at this time. Engage in activities that foster empathy and mutual understanding, and allow your passions to foster these deep feelings in a balanced way through every fiber of your being. Don't let your soul be suppressed. Don't let your soul not express yourself. Fully express yourself, and balance will be achieved. If Venus is in your natal chart's first house, you're radiating charm and attracting positive attention naturally. Even if you have an afflicted Venus, you do attract attention based on your lovely or your passionate vibe. Focus on self-love and confidence-building activities like a new style makeover or creative self-expression. Really put yourself in the center at this time. And this is in addition to applying this energy to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart. And as for love languages you can experience at this time, use words of affirmation, but even if it's with yourself. So speak kindly to yourself and to others. If you speak kindly to others, you might be surprised at this time that it reflects back to you. And express your affection in an openly and balanced way, and embrace your individuality in relationships. And if your Venus is in your second house of values and finances, this is a great time to indulge in sensory pleasures. Whatever you find sensory pleasing, indulge in it. It could be art, visual, it could be fashion, how you feel, it could be good food, taste, could be luxury experiences, whatever, or not luxury, something that reflects your personal values though. Financially, reassess what truly brings you joy. This is in addition to applying this energy to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your chart. Figure out what truly brings you joy and just relish in it, you know? And as for love languages you can embrace at this time, treat yourself. Express love through meaningful gifts. Could be to yourself, could be others. And the gifts don't have to cost money. It can be like self-care, whatever it looks like for you. Or acts of generosity helps too, towards yourself or others that align with both your values and the needs of others if that's relevant. And if your natal chart's Venus is in the third house, passions that you can sort of like lean into in this time is your creativity and your curiosity are going to be heightened. You might find joy in writing, poetry, music, engaging in discussions, however you like to creatively communicate. It can look a million ways. Really embrace that at this time and strengthen your relationships with others or yourself by expressing yourself more openly. Don't hold it in, let it out. This is in addition to applying this energy to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your chart. And as for love languages you can embrace at this time, spend quality time. This could be with yourself or others. Deep conversations or journaling or self-reflection or embracing intellectual connections will bring you more harmony, not only with yourself, but with others and whatever else in life brings you joy. And if your natal chart's Venus is in your fourth house, hello, that is also me. right now is the time to focus on beautifying your living space. It doesn't have to be extravagant if you're like a very simplistic person, but spend time sort of making your home feel like a home. You could spend time with family or people you live with, or if you live alone, even create emotional security within relationships with others or within yourself. It could just be about yourself. And this is a great time to host intimate gatherings or to embrace feelings of safety and security through embracing your time spent at home. And this is something that you can do in addition to applying this energy I just described to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall on your chart. And for love languages that you can embrace at this time, I know I will. You can embrace acts of service. You can cook a meal for someone or yourself, create a cozy bed with blankets and pillows. If you have an unorthodox home life, you like to just study or do art, whatever you want to do, just create the perfect environment for what it is you want to do and just do it. Don't hold back. And if your natal chart's Venus is in your 5th house, romance or art or creativity or pleasure in any way will take center stage at this time. Let yourself indulge in playfulness. Go on dates if that's relevant. If it's not relevant, that's okay. You can indulge in creative hobbies or hobbies that spark your inner child. That's what you really want to tap into. In other words, apply your energy in ways that bring you joy, however that looks. This can be in addition to applying this energy of joy and playfulness to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart. And love languages that can help is physical touch at this time. It could mean exercising or exerting your physical energy in some way that you find pleasurable, but it can also mean in a literal sense. And now's the time to be all huggy and kissy, whatever affection you like. If someone else is involved, it's a time for that as well. But even if you're by yourself, indulge in what feels good to you. Be flirty and spontaneous, whether with yourself or with others or the world at large. And if Venus is in your 6th house natally, self-care and wellness will become a priority at this time. You might enjoy refining your skincare routine, starting a new fitness class, or enhancing your work-life balance in some way, however appeals to you, through things that bring you relaxation. Some people are active and they relax. I don't know how. And some people relax by laying in their bed for 8 hours. Embrace it to help yourself relax. But also apply this relaxation and recalibration energy to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart. And for some love languages you can embrace at this time, acts of service to yourself or others is really helpful. Show love through thoughtful gestures to others, such as helping your partners with daily tasks, or maybe just not procrastinate tasks yourself, because the quicker you do your tasks, the more out of the way it is and the more time you have to relax. Win-win. And if your natal chart's Venus is in your 7th house, relationships or how you connect with others will take center stage at this time. It is a very powerful time for reassessing romantic or one-on-one dynamics, even platonic, deepening your commitments, or improving harmony in existing friendships, partnerships, relationships, whatever is relevant to your life experience. And consider your partners as well as yourself in harmony at this time. Balance both, you don't want to neglect one or the other, or we're going to be back to square one. And so this, in addition to applying the energy of the balance between yourself and others to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart, will be key. And some love languages that you can tap into at this time include spending quality time, either with yourself or with others. Prioritize meaningful moments with your loved ones or yourself. Really feel yourself and work on bringing more balance into your relationships in a way that doesn't sacrifice yourself. And if your natal Venus is in your 8th house, it's an intense one. I love this placement. Deep emotional connections and sensual experiences will be highly fulfilling for you at this time. This is a time where transformation in relationships or with your inner sense of power, could be both, whether through deeper intimacy or personal healing, this is a time to embrace all of that energy and to really just let it in. Don't fear it, just embrace it, And this is in addition to applying this transformative energy to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart. And love languages that can help you at this time, either with yourself or with others, is physical touch. It can be a hug, it can be more, you can be a little naughty if you want, but also express deep passion and emotional intensity in whatever way resonates with you, because love looks different for everybody. And if your natal Venus is in your 9th house, you're drawn to new experiences, and this will be heightened at this time, whether it's through travel or education or exploring different perspectives on love or passion in general. This is a great time to open your heart to new possibilities and expand your horizons with open arms. This isn't the time for your comfort zone. This is the time to get out of it. And this is in addition, apply this expanding your horizon energy to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart. And some love languages that can work for you at this time is quality time, whether it's with yourself or with others, because everybody's different. Some people have relationships, some don't, and that's okay. And if you want a relationship, do it to yourself, and maybe you'll find that it's done onto you eventually. And so bonding through shared adventures or discussing philosophical ideas with others, if it's possible, will bring you more depth, but also explore it within yourself. This will help you find balance. And if your Venus is in your 10th house, your career and reputation may get a boost at this time. You may be drawn to working through anything that involves creative expression. And I know this sounds kind of weird for some people. I have a left brain job, I get it. And if this doesn't resonate because you work in a left brain job, perhaps you want to create more sense of harmony and balance in how you assert your work passions. And so take what resonates and express your passions in your work a little bit more, and don't let yourself feel dry in this area of life. Let the floodgates come out, and I promise you'll feel more balanced. And some love languages that you can experience at this time: words of affirmation, either to yourself through affirmations or others. You can give it to others, and you might find if you give it to others, you'll receive it too, because praise and recognition will feel extra meaningful at this time. And so this can help create more balance and fulfillment. And if your natal Venus is in your 11th house, this is a time to nurture friendships or your network, or explore social connections or society at large in a way that aligns with your values. Don't suppress your values, embrace them. Love may blossom in unexpected places, like a friend group or a shared cause, and love can be platonic or romantic. So take what resonates, and perhaps you can just feel more connected with yourself or with others at this time, as long as you embrace your views on society. And this is in addition to embracing what it is you want out of society in a way that also applies this energy to the houses that Libra or Pisces fall in your natal chart. And some love languages that can help you at this time: embrace quality time either with yourself or with others. Build deeper bonds within your community or friendships. This will be fulfilling. Step out into the community, do something new, explore a new fashion, and take the time to do this, and I promise you'll feel more balanced. And finally, if your Venus is in your 12th house, my 12th house magical fairies, I love you. Love feels kind of mystical and dreamy, or maybe you have a hard time connecting with it, and you might be drawn to spiritual connections or creative solitude. Like, you feel very ethereal and out of this planet, whatever you prefer. And so journaling or meditating or engaging in quiet self-reflection can be transformative, or opening up your innermost self with close connections, if that's relevant, could prove to be therapeutic. And this is in addition, apply this reflective and transformative energy also to the houses that Libra and Pisces fall in your natal chart. And for some love languages that you can embrace at this time: acts of service, whether to yourself or your loved ones, because small thoughtful gestures that kind of consider yourself and others, that really dive into your psyche or the psyches of the ones that you're close to, will make loved ones and yourself feel safe, and this could have a therapeutic impact that can help you achieve balance in your life. For my fiery Aries moons, at this time, observe impulses or the fire within your emotions before acting, and understand what area of your life needs balance based on what topics do spark your emotional fire at this time. And you might feel a sudden urge to take action in relationships or within your personal matters. And a mindful observation to keep in mind is to pause before reacting emotionally and ask yourself, am I responding from instinct or awareness? This is very important to do at this time with this full moon. And a good grounding tip is to take a deep breath or to go on a walk before making decisions. Always think before you act, but don't suppress the fire. Feel it, observe it, and understand what it's telling you. If you are a Taurus moon, observe where you resist change. Observe emotions that spark such energy of like protectiveness, and understand what area of your life needs balance and what areas of life you can achieve more harmony in based on the emotions that kind of close you in or give you a little bit of skepticism at this time. And you might feel a little bit uncomfortable with emotional shifts because you prefer stability. Taurus moons, you guys are stable. I'm a Leo moon. I admire you guys so much. You guys don't even know. And a mindful observation to make at this time is to notice where you hold on too tightly to comfort or security. Where do you resist change? Because where you resist change, not embracing that change might be what's causing a lack of balance at this time. And a good grounding tip is to engage in slow grounding activities, something to sort of mellow you out. It could be gardening, skincare, deep breathing, whatever works for you. So keep that in mind. My Gemini moons. I love Gemini moons. You guys are so freaking smart, you don't even know. At this time, it is important to observe overthinking and emotional detachment. Observe emotions that spark such energy. Where do you start to overthink, or where do you try to like detach to separate yourself? And understand what area of your life needs balance and what areas of your life you can achieve more harmony in based on these emotions at this time. Because your mind may race with questions about relationships or like your feelings towards the areas that Libra and Pisces fall in your chart. And this can make you question your future and drive yourself insane. Don't let yourself go insane. You can intellectualize things, but don't let yourself go insane, trust me. And a good mindful observation at this time is to notice when your emotions are intellectualized instead of felt. Because trust me, the smart thing is to feel your emotions. I know you think the smart thing is to intellectualize them, but if you feel them, you can better use them to achieve more balance. And a good grounding tip is to write down emotions without analyzing them. Let them exist as they are, because if you write them down, this is a way to like channel that intellectualizing energy while also giving yourself permission to feel it. And if you are a Cancer moon, at this time, try to observe emotional waves without absorbing them, because y'all are empaths. I get it. Observe emotions that spark like such energy of like absorbing everything. Where does it come from? Try to understand what area of your life needs balance and what areas of your life you can achieve more harmony in based on what sparks these emotions at this time. And a hint, look at the house that Libra falls in your natal chart. That might be relevant. Or the house that Cancer falls in. That could be relevant too. And emotions may be heightened at this time, bringing up past wounds or family dynamics or loved one dynamics or dynamics with others in general. A good mindful observation is allow your emotions to rise and fall without attaching to them. Don't hold them back. It's going to be like a water well just like spitting out. If you try to hold it back, just let it flow and it'll turn into a river, you know? And a good grounding tip at this time is to hold a comforting object or find what brings you comfort. It could be a warm drink or a soft blanket, and this will help you anchor yourself or embrace your loved ones. That will help you anchor yourself too. And if you are a Leo moon, hey, I'm a Leo moon too. We got a lot in common. This is a good time to observe your need for validation and recognition. Ooh, I need to do that. Observe emotions that spark like the energy of needing validation and reflection or recognition. It'll probably relate to the house that Libra falls in your chart. And understand what area of your life needs balance and what areas of life you can achieve more harmony in based on the emotions at this time. Libra's in my third house for me. I want to be validated through my words. I relate, trust me, but take this with any area of your life. And you may feel a desire for appreciation or attention from others at this time. I get it. Ask yourself why. And also a good mindful observation is to ask yourself, am I seeking approval or do I want genuine connection? And embrace these feelings because that'll help you better tap into your ability to get genuine connection, which will help you get validation. I promise it'll balance you. And a good grounding tip is to validate yourself before seeking it from external sources, because that'll also reflect back onto you. For my Virgo moons, you smart, brilliant Virgo moons, observe perfectionism and overanalyzing your feelings at this time. Observe what emotions or happenings happen that spark such energy, and understand what area of your life needs balance, but also try to understand what areas of your life you can achieve more harmony in based on your emotions at this time. This could relate to the house that Virgo or Libra are in, just as a hint. You may be hyper aware of your flaws, or flaws in yourself or flaws in others. This is just something that comes naturally when a Virgo moon's mind is sparked or their emotions are sparked. And so a good mindful observation is notice when you're trying to fix emotions instead of feeling them. If you're trying to fix them, you can't feel them. There's your spoiler. And you're so brilliant. Learn that balance means to feel them. If you want to do the smart thing, balance your emotions. And a good grounding tip is to accept imperfection and practice gratitude. Do affirmations that practice gratitude in the present moment. Don't think of the past or the future. Try to focus on the present. And if you are a Libra moon, this is a major transit for you. So observe your people-pleasing and avoidance of conflict at this time. Observe emotions that spark such energy and understand what areas of your life need balance and what areas of your life you can achieve more harmony in based on your emotions at these times. See what sparks your people-pleasing, or I guess a focus outside of yourself. What sparks that focus outside of yourself? Pay attention to that. And you may feel emotionally torn between your needs and the other expectations at this time. You may be trying to meet a goal and you put too much emphasis on the goal, or it could be with others as well. And a good mindful observation is recognize where you suppress emotions to keep the peace, because I promise you suppression will not bring you balance. It will bring you balance, not suppressing. Don't do it. I know you want to, but letting it out, I promise it'll help. And a good grounding tip that can help you is to say no when necessary and sit with discomfort instead of smoothing things over. This will help you achieve more balance in a backwards way. And my deep and probing, wonderful Scorpio moons. At this time, you can observe emotional depth without getting lost in it or repressing it. Observe emotions that spark the energy of getting lost or feeling these intense emotions that you want to hold in, and pay attention to what sparks this area of emotion and what needs balance because of this spark of emotion. And pay attention to the houses that Libra or Scorpio fall in your chart, because this may give you a hint on how these energies may bubble at this time. And feelings of intensity, transformation, or emotional secrecy may arise for some reason. Don't feel shame in it. It happens. Embrace it. A good mindful observation is acknowledge deep emotions without letting them control you. Emotions are part of the human experience. They're just trying to tell you something, A good grounding tip is to engage in deep breathing or journaling to process these feelings safely. You have to process them to find balance. And if you are a Sagittarius moon, observe the urge to escape difficult emotions at this time. Observe the emotions or feelings that spark this need to escape or to go somewhere else or to adventure or to impulsively do something to fulfill yourself emotionally, and see what areas of life need balance because of those impulses. Hint, hint, look at the houses that Libra and Sagittarius fall in your chart. That might give you a hint. And you may feel restless or want to avoid emotional confrontation at this time. I get it. But a good mindful observation is when you want to run, pause and sit with the feeling. Trust me, this will help you have more balance, and then you can express your adventurous energy in a more balanced way, in a more healthy way, and a more fulfilling way. And a good grounding tip is to take a mindful walk or do a walk around your neighborhood and practice present moment awareness. Even drinking the water, take it in. If you are a Capricorn moon, you guys, you deserve love, I promise. At this time, observe emotional walls and the need for control and what sparks those emotions, what sparks your need to put an emotional wall up. Maybe you're open in some ways and not other ways, because whatever sparks that need for a wall or control might be an area of your life where you can achieve more harmony or balance. And to do that, you want to do the opposite of what is kind of in your comfort zone. And you may try to rationalize emotions instead of experiencing them. And even if you do try to experience them, really let yourself feel it. And a good grounding tip or a good mindful observation, let's go there first. Notice when you suppress vulnerability or dismiss emotions. Actively make a note and write it down when that happens. And a good grounding tip at this time is let yourself express your emotions in private without judgment. Nobody's watching you except yourself. You can't judge yourself because you can actively choose not to judge yourself. This will allow you to express it without feeling judged. If you're an Aquarius moon, at this time, observe detached and emotional rationalization at this time. But also, what sparks these emotions out of you? Where do you become like hyper rational? Where do you like become a little bit more detached? Because these areas of life may need a little bit more balance or harmony. And if you want a hint on where to look at the house that Aquarius or Libra falls in your chart. Because you may intellectualize your emotions rather than allowing yourself to feel them, because maybe for some reason in your life you just don't feel them. Maybe something triggered you to where you don't feel them. Maybe you don't like feelings. I don't know. It could be a different plethora of reasons for everybody. And so mindful observation is to recognize when you distance yourself to avoid discomfort, because if you distance yourself, you can't properly feel them and you can't have balance. And a good grounding tip is focus on your body and your sensations to reconnect with your emotions, because if you connect with them, I promise you'll find more balance. And finally, for my Pisces moons, at this time, observe emotional, overwhelming feelings without escaping. And if you feel very overwhelmed, notice and pay attention to what areas of your life are sparking that. It could deal with the houses in your chart of Libra and Pisces. And know that if you're letting yourself feel overwhelmed and escaped, that can prevent harmony in your life. But this harmony can be recaptured. You may feel more sensitive than usual or pick up on others' emotions at this time. When there's a full moon, your emotions are at full force. And a good mindful observation is to set your boundaries and separate your emotions from external influences. This is so hard for Pisces moons. I get it. If you want to practice separating it, do it with like little smaller things that do bring up emotion, but not too much, you know? And a good grounding tip at this time is to visualize a protective energy bubble around yourself, because this may help you like visually and mentally separate yourself from the world, which can help you to balance your emotions and feel more fulfillment. If your moon is in your first house, hey, that's me. I also have my moon in my first house. Woo, do we feel it intense. And we will feel this full moon just like any moon cycle intensely. We just feel intensely all the time, but we can do it. Observe how emotions affect your identity at this time and what your self-worth feels like. Understand how your feelings towards yourself or the way that you process identities need balance, and the sign that your moon is in will tell you how to achieve that balance. And you can also figure out how these feelings are affecting the area of life that the full moon in Libra is taking place in, depending on your rising sign. You may feel emotions very physically, like we feel them very potently in our chest and our body, and we get all tense and tight. Mood changes may be very intense and connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart at this time. I get it. Libra's in my third house, and I've been scared to talk a lot of the time. I admit it. I'm guilty. Pay attention to what house that is for you, though. And a mindful observation is notice how emotions influence your self-image without over-identifying with them. This one will take practice. You just gotta mentally remind yourself of it sometimes. And a good grounding tip is to stand in front of a mirror right now. I'll do it in front of my camera. Hey camera, how are you? And affirm, I am not my emotions. They come and go. I am wonderful. My emotions just tell me what I need. Just do it. I promise it'll help. If your moon is in your second house, at this time, observe emotional attachments to your security and worth. And understand how this area of your life, your second house, needs balance, and how feelings of your second house area of life affect the house that the full moon is taking place in, which is in Libra. So pay attention to how Libra and whatever your second house is kind of intermingle at this time. The full moon may trigger concerns about money or self-worth or stability and connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. Really think about what that means. Write it down if you don't know. Maybe something will come to you. A good mindful observation at this time is to ask, am I attaching my emotional state to my material security? Because I know it is so easy to do that. I get it. But just know that there's plenty of people with no money or even no security who can find some happiness. It doesn't mean that you don't care about security just to not over-identify with it. It just helps you to ground, And a good grounding tip, speaking of that, for example, is to focus on self-worth beyond external validation. Focus on what you have going for you. And if your moon is in your third house, observe thoughts and emotional communications at this time with yourself or with others, and understand how your third house or your communications or your immediate environment needs balance emotionally, and how these emotions need balance also with the house that Libra falls in your chart. Could be the same house, but if it's not, the two different houses are going to connect. So try to think about how that connects. And you may need to talk through emotions or overthink situations naturally. You may be the type to really think through your emotions or to really sort to try to figure them out. And when you feel these at these times, these emotions will likely connect to the houses that Libra falls in your chart. So observe where that connection may exist once again. And a good mindful observation, slow down and listen to your emotions, but not just one at a time and just say what you feel at the time. Just observe what they're trying to tell you, feel it, and then communicate it possibly. And a good grounding tip this time is to practice mindful breathing before engaging in emotional conversations. And this, even if you think you're not feeling a lot, I promise you, do the breathing first and then talk. You will thank me. You will thank me. Okay, let's... Needed a water break. Hello, moon and fourth house individuals. At this time, you should observe emotional ties to your home or your roots or your family or your sense of security, whatever is relevant to your personal home family dynamic, because it's different for everybody. And understand how this area, your fourth house, needs balance in connection to the house that Libra falls in your chart, because there might be something lacking balance in your home life and the house that Libra falls in. Think about what that can mean and figure it out. Write it down, sort through the things, because you can find more balance. And old wounds from your childhood or your family dynamics or your feelings of safety may surface at this time and somehow connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. So go deep within to figure out how this may be playing out or where those emotions may be coming from, which may be hard. But look, you're safe in your head. Nobody is judging you for your brain. You're safe, I promise. A good mindful observation is to recognize patterns without falling into old emotional loops, because we all got things that we heal from. We all got those bad habits. It took me a lot to get up and film this, if I'm being honest, so trust me, I get it. And a good grounding tip of this time is to create a safe and comforting environment for emotional processing. Could be your bedroom, could be an office, could be in nature, could be anywhere, could be a racetrack, I don't know. People are weird. I'm kidding, not weird. I don't judge. Do what works for you. And if your moon is in your fifth house, observe emotional expressions of joy and romance at this time. See what sparks your innermost child, and understand what is lacking from experiencing these feelings or where these feelings may be out of balance, but also connect this with the house that Libra falls in your chart, depending on your rising sign. And you may feel a need to express emotions creatively or to seek validation in love or your creative pursuits, or to find joy in external factors at this time. And any emotions experienced may somehow connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. Just keep that in mind. A good mindful observation is to notice when you're seeking joy externally instead of cultivating it from within. Because the 5th house is opposite of the 11th house. Do you want like the validation or the notoriety? Or do you actually enjoy something? This is a very good question to ask yourself anytime you feel imbalanced around this time. There's a siren. Well, okay, that's okay. Anyway, a good grounding tip right now is to express emotions through whatever brings you passion. Could be art or dance, or it could be running, could be math. It's different for everybody. Just pour yourself into that and you'll feel balanced. If your moon is in your 6th house, observe how emotions affect your daily routine, or how your daily routine affects your emotions. Understand how your daily routine, your day-to-day life needs balance. Understand like when your emotions are out of whack in relation to the balance in your routine, and understand how the house that the full moon is taking place in, aka Libra, may affect to your routines or your day-to-day life, because these feelings are probably interconnected. Try to figure out what it's trying to tell you. And you may notice how stress or emotional patterns impact your health and your habits. Like maybe you want to lay down all day when you don't feel good. I get it. And observe how these emotions may connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. Just another reminder. A good mindful observation is to track your emotional patterns throughout the day without judgment. You can write it down. You just make a mental note. You can do like the happy face or frowny face that they do at doctor's appointments to gauge how you're feeling if you have trouble putting into words. But do observe your emotions throughout the day and see what triggers bad or good moments for you. And a good grounding tip is to establish a simple self-care practice that resonates with you. I promise it'll help you find balance. If your moon is in your 7th house, observe emotional reactions in relationships or in relation to others, and understand how others may spark emotions within you, why they spark emotions, what happens that sparks those emotions, and how you can balance this area of life. And a hint is it may connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. And the full moon may highlight imbalances in how you give and receive love. So also observe how these emotions in this area of life may connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. If it's in your 10th house, for example, maybe it's one-on-ones within your 10th house. If it's in your 3rd house, maybe it's like siblings or immediate environment or whatever it may be. Just use your discretion. A good mindful observation at this time is to notice relationship triggers without immediate reaction. If you see something you may want to react, just go, give yourself 10 seconds, think about it, and then you can speak, or give yourself longer if you need to. You know you best. And a good grounding tip is to take a step back before responding emotionally. Maybe it should be 30 seconds. Maybe it should be 10 minutes. Understand what your emotional needs are. How long does it take you to cool down? Once you cool down, then you can say what you feel. If your moon is in your 8th house, my intense 8th house mooners, I hate that. Observe deep emotional transformations within yourself and understand how depth in your emotions, whether it's out of whack or in whack. Understand what brings your emotions in whack and what brings your emotions out of whack, and figure out what area of life is causing this imbalance. It could be the house that Libra falls in your chart based on this full moon. And hidden emotions or intense subconscious fears may surface, and these emotions could connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. But anytime you feel hidden emotions or fears, really sit with the discomfort. Don't push it back, just sit with it by yourself. Look, nobody's judging you when you're by yourself. And this is a time for emotional renewal, because only you can renew your emotions, if that makes sense. And a good grounding tip is to visualize releasing old emotions like exhaling smoke. So if you, I got these emotions, when you blow it out like a fire-breathing dragon, okay? Do it. And imagine the smoke and the darkness dissipating. It'll help you to find more balance, I promise. And if your moon is in your 9th house, observe your emotional beliefs and perspectives, or what sparks strong feelings of beliefs or strong perspectives emotionally. and understand like what beliefs or perspectives, whether they're challenged or brought up, kind of spark emotional imbalance in your life, and figure out like what you can do to bring this imbalance. And paying attention to the house that Libra falls in your chart may show you like where this imbalance is happening at this time. And the full moon may challenge what you believe about love or your passions or emotions or relationships, anything dealing with what you love or care about. But also observe, how these emotions may connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart, because you may learn a lot about your beliefs based on what your triggers are. You just need to figure out what the triggers are, And a good mindful observation at this time is to be open to shifting emotional perspectives. Don't be fixed on it. Don't affirm that you're always right. Unless you are right, then you can affirm you're right. But if something opens your horizons, take it on with open arms. And a good grounding tip is to read something that expands your emotional awareness at this time. Could be a self-help book, could be a YouTube video, could be something in your textbook. I don't know. Do whatever works for you. I need some water. I keep licking my lips. It is so fucking dry in here. Ooh, I cussed. Whoops. If your moon is in your 10th house, observe emotional ties to success and reputation, or how your success and reputation affect you emotionally, and understand what kind of like sparks feelings that are out of whack in terms of your career, your public reputation, or your sense of success, and figure out like what those triggers are so you can help bring it in balance. And maybe at this time the triggers involve the house that Libra falls in your chart. And you may feel emotions tied to public image or career or external validation at this time. So observe how these emotions may connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. Maybe you want to be successful, or maybe you don't want like as much attention, or maybe you want more attention, or maybe you just want like the money, or maybe you just want the feeling of fulfillment. Whatever it is, it could look different for everybody. Observe what that means to you. And a mindful observation is to ask yourself, do I measure my emotions based on my achievements, or do my achievements influence my emotions? And if you feel this imbalance, just ask yourself this question. Write it down if you have to, and you'll remember to do it. And a good grounding tip is to define success in internal terms, not just external rewards, because if you define it by internal terms, I promise the external terms will come in balance and you'll feel more fulfilled. If your moon is in your 11th house, observe emotional patterns in society, friend groups, social groups, your community at large, and understand what kind of triggers bad emotions in regards to this area of life, and figure out how the area that the full moon takes place in, how Libra in your chart affects like these feelings connected to society, and figure out how you can find balance. And the full moon may highlight which connections or views or societal triggers truly support your growth versus what kind of like stunts your emotions. And again, this will also connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. So even if the houses are completely unrelated, maybe at this time they are a little bit related. And so ask yourself how that may be, write it down if you have to, or talk to a friend if you have to. A good mindful observation at this time is to notice where you overgive or where you distance yourself. Where are you not putting priorities on yourself or on society? Like, where is the balance lacking? And a good grounding tip is to spend time with people who nourish your spirit and who make you feel like you are connected to the world in a way that feels fulfilling to you. And finally, if your moon is in your 12th house, observe hidden emotions and intuitive messages that you may get at this time. And understand, where am I getting emotional hits? Where am I getting intuitive messages? Where am I getting like weird feelings that I can't quite process? Like, what is happening around me when I'm feeling these emotions? Because you might get a little bit of a hint on what your trigger is. And just a little hint, it may be the house that Libra falls in your chart, as this is where the full moon is happening. And this full moon may activate dreams or subconscious emotions or spiritual insights. And these emotions could somehow connect to the house that Libra falls in your chart. So even if you have to do a little bit of mental gymnastics, try to figure out how to make that connection to see where it comes from. And a good mindful observation at this time is to watch your emotions rise and fall. Yeah, okay. How am I going to phrase this? Sorry. Mercury's in Gatorade. Watch how your emotions rise, like the waves, without needing to control them. Just observe them. If you feel them and you feel them very intensely and you can't help it, just like observe it from like a bird's eye view almost, because it doesn't stop you from feeling them, but it may help you to understand them. And a good grounding tip is to meditate or engage in quiet solitude for deep reflection anytime these emotions are triggered. Oh, sorry, I have some heartburn right now. But also, if you do trust anybody intimately, open up to them as well, because maybe they can provide some deeper insights as well. And thank you so much for watching this video. This is probably a very, very long video. I will be doing this with every major transit coming up. I think it's fun. I hope it's helpful, and I hope you found it helpful too. If you have any thoughts or feelings or emotions, comment it down below. And also like and subscribe so that anytime I post a video, if you found my format helpful, you can watch it all the time. I don't know, I think it'll help. And until next time, hopefully the Libra Moon brings you blessings and joy that can help you find a more fulfilling life.